Hey guys, Trina here, back with another painting demo. Today I'm going to be working on some watercolors using the new watercolors that I got. This is the Kuretake Gonza palette, which is pretty cool. And then this is the boku-undo watercolor / Sumi ink paint. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is lay down some of this olive green yellow color and wet down my canvas here. What I want to do this for is because I want to keep the middle part dry so that I can spray it with water and have some drips. This is a technique that I learned from the artist Karen Rice, which I will link to above one of her videos and put a link in the description. And basically what this does is we're going to paint on some black of this Boku Sumi ink. This is the green black, and I love how thick I can make it. Like, it's super thick, very opaque paint. All the colors, as you can see here, are really dark, and I do have a swatching video of all of these colors up, and I'll put a link to that as well. Oh, I love that line that I just made there. So I want this to be a landscape, sort of abstract. And when searching for people that do abstract watercolor landscapes, I ran into two people, as I mentioned before, Karen Rice, and there's also this guy named Scott Swinson, who both do some really amazing work. And I will leave links to their videos and their pages in the description. Here you can see I'm mixing up some red. This is going to be an epic fail because it just didn't work. It made icky color, so I got rid of it and scraped it off. So these inks are really opaque, and I love how I can manipulate them more not like watercolor paint. Here you can see I'm adding in some of the blue boku-undo black, and I love that dark sort of Payne's gray that you get there. I'm spraying on some water to make some drips, and I need to figure out how to add more drips. I think that I'm not putting enough water on. And here you can see I'm taking a palette knife and applying with that. As I said before, I am not a watercolor artist. I am an abstract painter, mixed media painter. And there are things that I love about watercolor. I mean, I love the transparency of it. I love how you can make it flow. But I don't want my work to look just like normal watercolor. I want it to be abstract. I want it to be bold. But I want to have some of those elements in there as well. Here I'm taking just some water on a brush to kind of re-wet the paint and bring it back down. This is one of the things that I love about watercolor. The fluidity, the transparency, just the overall subtleness, if you will, of the colors and how you can layer them. So this is going to take a few attempts for me to figure out my style with these materials. But that's why we practice, and I hope you don't mind watching me practice. I love that line that I just made there with that over that little blue, and the blue is by far becoming one of my favorite colors. Adding in some more water. Going to add in some bright green because I love color. And one of the things that I wanted to experiment with these was trying to incorporate both of these palettes into the same work, which, you know, they don't really go together, but I think that I can make some colors that will work. I mean, this is straight out of the pen. I really love that color. It's one of my favorite, that sort of citron green color. And I like the contrast of the bright colors with the super dark. I think it's an interesting combination that I want to explore more of. So I think tomorrow or later today, I'm actually going to take some time and mix up some different colors with those Kuretake paints, because I want to see what possible colors that I can make with them. You know, feel like I can make some really cool oranges, maybe some fun pastels, but I think I can make some really rich colors with them if I just sort of figure out how to mix them together. Here I've added some more dark, and it's just a little much, so I'm going to take some of that away. And so we're going to add in, I do believe I'm going to add some blue right here. Some of this light sky, I think it's called King's Blue. And this is a really pretty color. I love the marks that the color is rich. I love how it blends with that green. And that's what I'm talking about, is mixing, figuring out how to mix the colors, whether it be on the paper, wet and wet, or whether it be in a palette. Still trying to work all that out. I mean, this medium is so good. And, one of the things that I'm super happy with this painting is that I actually preserved my white space and I didn't fill it all up, because, I tend to get a little crazy with the paint, and you'll see as this piece goes on that I start making more marks and experimenting just a little bit more than I was being a little timid in the beginning. But as I get more confident, I'm sure the mark making will get more bold and you'll see some really interesting work. But for now, we're just playing, or just trying to figure it out. So that's really all I have today. I'm going to continue to work on this piece and add in more of that blue because it's just so pretty. And I'll add in some pencil marks in a minute. But until then, if you have any questions or suggestions for that matter, feel free to leave them in the comments. As always, I encourage you to like and subscribe, and so you don't miss any of the fun new things that I'm doing. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.